Thanks, man. Okay, thanks for the introduction. So, hi everybody. My name is Luka Isailovic. I'm the web team lead at WalletConnect. So we're going to be speaking about the blockchain UX, specifically session keys, what those are, what is the impact, and couple of the new standards that enable all of this. But before that, we're going to start with how do we use dApps currently, what are even session keys, how do we use them with smart accounts, EIP 7702, and finally, what is the blockchain UX that we want, or we need, rather, to, I guess, gain some mass adoption. So starting with how do we use dApps currently, when I say dApp, I'm going to use some examples of well-known dApps like Uniswap, 1inch, OpenSea, something like that, something we all know. So usually I'll visit this website, and in the top right, there's this connect button. I click connect. I'm prompted with the QR. I open up my mobile wallet because most connections are now from mobile. I scan the QR, I approve on mobile, and I'm good. I'm connected. I'm in. This is just authentication. So next thing is I do something on the app, whatever it is. I prompt some interaction. Is it a swap? I buy NFT, whatever. The call is sent to my wallet. I'm, again, prompted to approve the call. Response is sent back to the app, and that's it. And I'm stuck in this send call, approve call loop. There's this constant context switching between the dApp and the wallet, which is not great. I shouldn't at least be using two apps at the same time. Like when I use Twitter, I don't want to be prompted by Google to authenticate again and again and again each time I want to tweet. And this is just when I'm authenticated. Like if I, for example, go back and not use my dApp for a week, I'm not here. I'm back here. Like, I need to authenticate again. And this is just not great because, again, when I use Twitter, I don't want to, or X, as it's, I guess, popular now, I don't want to be authenticated every week. Like, I want to authenticate once and then maybe once in a year or something. I'm back here, authenticated again in the same loop. So lots of context switching, not great. Lots of gaming talks today, so happy to see gaming folks also innovating. This is the video I found that kind of over-exaggerates how stuff is done on the gaming side, but to an extent, honestly, it's not too far off to how it actually is. The point is, again, the context switch. I'm playing the game, and then I constantly have to go back to the wallet and approve stuff. Question is, like, why do I do that? Like, why do I have to go back to the wallet? Why can't just the app do everything on my behalf? The reason is because wallet is the one that's in control of my private key. Like wallet is the one that is able to sign transactions, or if we want to stick to the smart account terms, user ops. And we should probably still stick to the smart account terms because most new users are actually going to be smart account users. They will not use EOAs. So why can't dApp just sign transactions? Like for that to be possible, I would need to share my private key with the dApp. Obviously, issue with that is security. I don't want to share my entire wallet with the dApp because then the app can do whatever it wants. Another issue, I guess, solution to this was the embedded wallets, which most dApps now use. That is the sign in with Google or whatever, and then they generate wallet on your behalf. Issue with that is, I guess, interoperability. I'm in one dApp, I use wallet, I go on another dApp, I have to generate a new wallet, and I want to have 1,000 wallets. I just want one mobile wallet, and then I want to sign in with every dApp and use it like normally, as everybody else would. So with smart accounts, I have this concept of signers. So I have my master signer, which is my wallet, but then I can assign multiple different signers. So I can make dApp a signer on my smart account. That's a solution, but again, it's not great because dApp is not limited in what it can do. Like it can send transactions that it wants, but it can send any transaction from my smart account. That's just not great, from the security perspective at least. So then we come to the concept of session keys. Like what if instead of making dApp a signer or, God forbid, sharing my private key with the dApp, I generate this cryptographic key specific to the session or limited in permissions in what it can do with my smart account, but still it can sign transactions on my behalf. Now, this concept is not new. It's been around for a couple of years and implemented by different smart account implementations like ZeroDev, Economy, Safe. But the issue is everyone has their own definition of session key. Everybody has their own definition of permissions. And everybody implements this differently. So if I'm a dApp and I want to support all wallets, I have to implement like 10 different SDKs. The solution to this is the new EIP 7715, which is, by the way, still in the PR stage in the GitHub. It's just been announced 2 weeks ago. It's called the permission standard. And this standard defines how does the dApp request permissions from the wallet and what permission is, in fact. So to give some, I guess, simple examples, permission in the case of 1inch or Uniswap would be I'm asking the permission to swap 100 USDC for ETH once every week. That's a permission in case of 1inch or some training dApp, whatever. The permission standards, again, define the flow, not all the possible variations of it. And it looks something like this. By the way, the wallet issue permissions RPC call that's introduced has been renamed to wallet grant permissions, but I kind of forgot to update the slides, which is fine. The EIP is still pretty new. By the way, it's my first EIP, so super happy about that one and totally not, I guess, yeah, all right. So dApp requests permissions from the wallet with the new RPC call. Wallet is responsible for displaying these permissions to the user in some UX-friendly way. So it should display what dApp is asking for, hopefully, correctly. User overviews this and clicks approve, returns the permission object back to the dApp, which stores it somewhere. This could be database, this could be local storage, doesn't matter. Like this is safe to store anywhere, it's completely fine. After that, dApp wants to send user ops on behalf of the user. It uses this permission context and signature from the session key and submits user ops directly to the bundler. So if you see the flow here, dApp is completely skipping the wallet and the user and is sending user ops directly to the bundler on user's behalf. Coming back to the session key definition, like what exactly is session key? I just added some cryptographic key, which is true. In this use case, it could be the same type of key you are using to, I guess, have your own wallet, like ECDSA K1 key. However, there are multiple, I guess, possible definitions of session key, and one definition is passkey. So I could be the type of user that doesn't like this type of background behavior and someone doing something on my behalf. Instead, I just don't like being prompted all the time by my phone. I want to connect like once, and then every other transaction should be approved by my passkey. If I'm using, I guess, mobile device. If I'm using desktop device, I have passkeys on the browser as well. So the point is, I want to stay within the dApp context. I want to be aware of every interaction, but still, I want to explicitly approve everything. That's just one type. There are other types that are like useful for other purposes, like BLS signatures for aggregation and stuff like that, but still, the standard is completely open to any other key type. The issue with passkeys is they're really expensive to verify. Like verifying signature from passkey on chain is like 10 to 15 times more expensive than the standard signature. Thankfully, in the next hard fork, like we have included EIP 7212, which makes this super cheap, and then passkeys are basically viable authentication methods for all wallets. One more EIP, 7702. This one was a big one a couple of weeks ago, like written by Vitalik himself in response to 3074. Like the gist of it is that it allows EOAs, so accounts that are not smart accounts, the traditional like old accounts, DAO accounts, to execute any bytecode or the, I guess, compiled solidity code in a transaction. So for the duration of transaction, I can use any smart account features I like. So I can make paymaster sponsor my transaction. I can bundle multiple different interactions in one transaction. So as an EOA, I can use any smart account capability, but still not deploy smart accounts, still maintain my account as an EOA. What's good about this is that it allows EOAs to issue permissions as well. So for now, this has only been scoped for smart accounts because EOAs can't really issue permissions. They don't have any code. They're dumb. But with 7702, I can basically issue permissions with every current wallet and then use it as a smart account wallet. And that's pretty great. Again, it's expected for it to be included in the next hard fork, which is probably like autumn still, but still it's not like finalized. When I explained the flow, it's expected for the I guess connection to be established beforehand, before I request permissions, which is fine. But then, like, the issue is, like, when I visit the dApp, I connect. I'm prompted by my wallet to approve connection. That's fine. If the dApp is using CV or signing with Ethereum for authentication, I'm prompted again. So that's second click. And then if the dApp wants to, I guess, utilize the permissions, I'm prompted again to issue permissions. So I just want to use the dApp, and I'm prompted 3 times by my wallet before I even like started using anything. So that's not great. Thankfully, we have CAPE 222, which is allowing us to bundle all of these interactions into one call and one approve wallet side. For those of you who are like unfamiliar with CAPEs, we have EIPs that are like Ethereum improvement proposals for Ethereum, and we have CAPEs that are chain agnostic, so chain agnostic improvement proposal. That just means it's like, as its name said, like chain agnostic. It works with like Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, whatever. So with all of this, like, what's the, I guess, UX that we're like striving for? When I authenticate with like Web2 apps using SSO, it prompts me to click accept on my Google account, but it specifies like what it can do. When I authenticate with my Google account, I don't expect someone by default to put some files in my Google Drive or read my emails. I just wanted to, I guess, use my email for the authentication purpose and nothing else. And Google does this pretty well, because it's asked me what I want to do, and if I'm not okay with it, I'm going to like reject. So the equivalent experience for the Web3 would be the image to the right, which is, by the way, internal prototype we have. This is not just like theoretical or made up. It's a working like wallet that connects, specifies some permission, like interact with donut contract, which is just some dummy contract we made up, spend up to 0.5 ETH in a transaction, maximum 5 ETH, and session key is valid for 7 days, because each session key has validity. I click approve, I'm back on the dApp, and basically I'm authenticated, issued permissions, and dApp can use whatever it does, like in a standard way. So it doesn't need to change any additional logic. Everything is happening like wallet side. How is that possible? Well, most dApps and wallets already utilize WalletConnect protocol now, and WalletConnect SDKs. So we are striving to make all of this not a breaking change for the dApp. Because if you say, yeah, permissions are great, but you have to spend weeks or even months changing your code in order to support this, like, nobody's going to support this. So if you're in a dApp, you just use VM, BAGME, Ethers, whatever, to send transactions in a normal way, and you shouldn't really care if you are using like full-fledged wallet connection between the dApp and a wallet, if you're using permissions, if the wallet is deployed, if it's not deployed, if you should be using CAPE this or EIP that, like everything else should be handled by WalletConnect. And it will be handled by WalletConnect. If you're a wallet, if you're a smart account wallet, thankfully this is going to be shipped as 7579 module, which is the standard that defines how smart accounts install and use different modules. Currently, basically all implementations like Safe by Economy Zero Dev are compatible with 7579. So again, instantly this is compatible with basically most used smart accounts. Finally, like, why do we bother? Like, why does it matter for this? I guess Web2 products that we use today don't have great UX, but it's pretty good. Like, if I'm on Twitter and I tweet, I don't expect to be authenticated for every tweet. Like, I know what it does. But for Web3 products, it's kind of we compromise for the sake on the UX for the sake of technology, like because it's cool to use something, because it's Web3. But usually these products are so much worse than like what are we expected to use and then what we should use. And as long as it's like that, like we can't really expect any mainstream adoption because users, they don't care about the Web3 technology, session keys, EIPs. Like there's no point. Like user is only going to use your product if it's simpler and better than the Web2 alternative that they're already using. And as long as like we are working on promoting technology instead of promoting UX, that's not going to be the case. I see the industry like shifting now into the UX focus. Like everything was about scaling a couple of years back. Now it's pretty good. Like scaling is mostly solved. And basically every big company is working on the UX as it should be. And yeah, I'm super excited. Like we're going to contribute from WalletConnect side as much as we can, starting with this. Like we already do so much for the UX. Otherwise, everybody would still be stuck on the browser wallets for everything. But yeah, permissions is going to unlock so many things. I'm super excited about that. And with that said, if there are any questions, yeah, feel free. Okay, no questions. Interesting. Okay, I have a question.
So if you could just like quickly compare this new AIP with what we have in terms of Seaway and capability recaps, research capabilities, like it seems very similar. I just want to know like what the key differences are which require a new EIP.
So are you asking between the capabilities like recaps, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay. So recaps basically define a way to send a call. So basically Seaway can be structured in a way that it's a recap, right? But it's a CV, right? I can't issue permissions with CV. So I need new stuff to issue permissions. But when I said CAPE 222, it means that there is a way to bundle the new call, wallet grant permissions as a recap. So it's going to be sent to the user as a part of the connection request and as a part of the CWay. So it's going to be another recap. And then I'm going to be basically prompted one more time, or actually not be prompted one more time, and just click once, approve, and it's done. So the goal is, yes, to be structured as a separate call, so you can call it like you would use ETH personal sign, but still it's possible to structure it as a recap, so it could be bundled with other requests.
You're happy. That's a very politically correct answer.
I'm glad you're happy.
Do we have any more questions? Yes.
I have two questions. So the first one is, where is the session key stored? Is it stored within like one specific wallet, and I guess it then doesn't synchronize across the other wallets? And then related to this, can I revoke sessions? So if there is like the session key is exposed or something, is there some kind of blacklist where it then says, hey, this session is invalid and I can invalidate it myself?
Yeah, those are great questions. So where is the session key stored? We define session key as something that the dApp owns, or at least it should be dApp side. Because the point is, I want to connect with my wallet once, and then I don't want to use my wallet for the next X, whatever the validity of my session key is. So it should be dApp side. However, if we want it to be like synced, it's up to dApp to sync it. Like dApp can like securely store it in its database, because if you modify session key, it's no longer valid. So it's completely safe to, I guess, trust the dApp to store it. And the other question is revocation of the permissions. So that's a tricky one, because the EIP doesn't define revocation, because revocation doesn't necessarily need wallet connection. And if we were to introduce wallet revoke permissions, that would mean that I expect the connection between the dApp and the wallet. However, revocation is totally like possible with just smart contract code and any signer that is not a wallet. Like session key should be able to revoke permissions as well. And if I introduce a new call, that's not possible. So for now, it's out of the spec, and it's up to the account implementations to define the revocation logic. But it's definitely something that is being like worked on like actively by basically all account implementations.
Are you happy?
Everybody's happy.
Anyone else looking for a dose of dopamine? Okay then, we can wrap it up. Thank you, Luka, so much.
Thanks.
Give it up for Luka.
Thanks, everyone.